just went over some fish. I've got a spot marked here on the screen that I just stumbled on. So I wanted to see if there's any fish down there. I don't see any fish down there right now. And we've got Danielle, who's the former owner of Sea Deck. And we have Louis, who is a good fisherman. He was out in rough weather. And we have Barbara at the back here. So we're just getting set up. We cut some bait, and we're going to see if we can get some bottom fish for dinner. You know, this is nice. We're out in about 780 feet of water. We were marking some fish, and we started getting some nice snapper. Barb, nice lane snapper. This is a nice eating size lane snapper that Barb just got. So this is what we're targeting out here. Louis at the front got one about £1.5 pounds, almost 2 pounds. But they look beautiful. They've got these nice stripes in that little spot. They're great eating. So Barb, I'm going to let you get that one off. There you go. And I'm just going to tell.
Another one on.
Yep. I'm going to tell everybody what we're using. Good. So lots of commotion on the boat, so everybody's excited. So this is a piece of threadfin herring, and I've cut it in half. If we were fishing for grouper, targeting them, and we can hook some grouper here, I would use a whole one. But this is a half of one, and I'm using a 2-hook rig. This is what I've got here. So I'm going to show you how I hook it. I'm hooking it by the tail portion because I don't want it to swirl on the way down. So I've got to go through the scales, and I'm going to try to go kind of through the spine. So you got to be careful that you don't put the hook through the spine and then into your finger. So I'm trying to be careful here. Kind of work it left and right, and just bust it through. And so I've got one hook in, just like that, and I'm going to hook the second one anywhere here, just like that. So I tell people when I have a guest, and I've got 2 guests, Daniel and Louis, along with Barb, that you want your bait to hang straight. You don't want it to be at an angle or perpendicular, so that when it's dropping down, it'll drop straight down. And this is 40-pound fluorocarbon, about 3 feet long. I've got a swivel here, and then I have a 4-ounce egg sinker right there. So I'm going to drop that over the side, see if we can get a fish. We've got 3 fish on at a time here. I'm finding one with the bare center pin. Daniel's got probably a nice snapper, Daniel, I'm guessing. You know, this is what fishing here, when you come out bottom fish in the Gulf of... Beautiful. Here, swing it over here so I can show the people. Here, yeah. Oh. See here, this is the double hook, and see you got it on the second one. That's a nice size eating fish. Beautiful. There you go. So that's a lane. Have you caught a lane snapper before? No? Yeah, that's a first snapper. Good. And I've got one on too. So we're in a good spot here. We're marking fish. And I've got a spot tail grunt. I'm going to be releasing mine because the grunts aren't the best eating. So I'll explain to you here. So this is we're getting to a variety of fish today. This is a spot tail. Got to be careful because we've got that hook hanging there. So you can see the spot at the back of the tail. So these guys school in high numbers, but we're not keeping any of them. You could eat them, but they're not the best eating. I like the standard, like the gray grunts. They're very good eating, so we're throwing them back. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change it up. You know, earlier we stopped at a spot, and I hooked, actually I didn't hook any, the guys did, some squirrel fish. The slang term is called sand perch. So these are the squirrel fish. They call them sand perch because they've got bars like a perch back home. So what I've done is I've cut fillets. This strip is probably about, you can see it's about the length of my hand right there. So I'm going to hook it, and I'm going to just put one hook at the top and one about halfway down. So I'm just going to change it up. So this would be called a bait strip that you're using on a double hook. You know, in a little bit I'm also going to try a shrimp just on a hook, but I'm going to lower that down. It's got lots of action because it's just the actual strip, and the skin helps to keep the fish on. And Barb's got another nice fish on. That's awesome. Barb, it looks pretty good. Oh yeah, nice one. Swing it in here, Barb. Well done. Look at how beautiful they are, eh? They're schooling fish, so we're on a school of these nice lane snappers. We're getting one after the other. Watch the hook, Barb. You're bold. Well done, Barb. You know, one of my favorite ways to fish out here, bottom fish, and I've been doing it for, maybe 6-7 years, is to use a center pin reel. So this is a bare center pin reel, same type of reel as we use when we're steelhead fishing back home. And you'll see why. If I take my finger off it, there's the line going down to the bottom. So it's very fast to release the line. So when the line gets to the bottom, it's going to stop. We're in about 80 feet of water, so it's going to take a little bit to get down there. Right now I have it on free spool. That's the way we'd use it back home if we'd be drifting, you know, with the float for steelhead or a brown trout or even salmon on the west coast. These reels are also good for like downrigger fishing. You can use them literally as a mooching reel, all different applications, but I've caught fish up to like 70 pounds. There's the bottom. I'm going to reel up and I'm just going to hit the lever on the bottom, and right now I'm locked. I've got a really good drag. So let's see if we can get a fish on here. As I'm fighting this fish out, I'm using my little finger on the line just to guide it. And right now I have it on free spool. So if a fish wanted to run, if it was bigger, this isn't a big fish, I'd have to use my hand as a drag. See what it is here? It's a small red grouper. So I'm going to be releasing it. So when you're on a grouper spot, you get a lot of these guys. I think it's a good sign. These are all little juveniles. That's on that strip of squirrelfish. Get the hook out. There we go. You don't want to lip it like a bass, but there's a little red. He's got the potential of becoming a big red. When they're big, we call them fire trucks. So that's a little guy. So he's going back in the water. Let's see what it is, Barb. Any guess?
No. Maybe a snapper? I don't know.
Oh, nice mangrove. Get it up, Barb. In the boat. Grab the line. Yep. Hold him up, Barb, because that's a beautiful mangrove. It fought good, eh?
Yeah, it did.
That's the biggest one so far. Can you hold them horizontally so everybody can see it? Just slide one hand. Watch the hooks. Beautiful fish. Man, they are good eating. They're gorgeous. Way to go, Barb.